Hey folks, welcome back to another Poemass video, and today let's talk about Rayquaza's sync grid, right, and you know, team comps, all that stuff. So Rayquaza is a striker, right? First of all, flying type striker, and his overall kit basically relies on this one passive over here, right, to help him do damage as a damage dealer. He also has Downside Up, which, you know, every time you use Dragon Ascent or Draco Meteor, or if the opponent debuffs you, you get those stats buffed instead, and those all go into this, right? So again, more stats raised, more power of the move. So overall, in terms of like general usage tips, I guess, one thing that you don't want to do is Mega with this guy. This guy Mega is worthless, right? This guy's Mega is not good. So after you Mega him, you get 100 or so speed, which is a lot of speed, but also not very necessary. Like, that's kind of overkill. You don't need that much speed, right, generally. And he has an incredibly bad sync move, right? His sync move does like no damage, right? Power's low, your base stat is low, right? You're not doing anything on sync move damage. So when you're running Steven, I would suggest, if you can, right, sync with your EX support, right? If you get sync with your EX support, sync with that. Or if you have a secondary striker, secondary damage dealer, sync with that instead. Alright, so as for your sync grid and stuff, in terms of lucky skill, right, obviously Crit Strike 2. Right? It's Crit Strike 2, that's what all 90% damage dealers want, right? Crit Strike 2, if not, then Crit Strike 1, right? If not, Power Flux 3. Stuff like that. So let's talk about its grid then. At 1 out of 5, just in terms of like stuff worth picking up, just stuff over here. Dragon Ascent, there's some power-ups. Clear Sync Up if you're not running Groudon, right? Otherwise, like Speed Node, maybe, Attack Node, but outside of that, really not much. If you want, you go pick the Speed Node up as well. But yeah, nothing's really super interesting here. Maybe X Attack MP Refresh if you're, for some reason, can't find a support to buff his attack a bit more. Alright, moving on. Alright. In terms of his 2 out of 5 grid, you don't really have much here either. And that's the story of his grid. Like, his grid is not very good. Alright, his grid is pretty bad. Again, most of his kit is just based on good form and downside up, right? His grid just doesn't really have much, unfortunately. You could still come pick up some Dragon Ascent stuff, maybe Head Start if you have some other unit that could help you decrease a bit more sync move countdown so that you get like whole round off. If not, then you could ignore this as well. Clear Sync Up again if you're not running with Groudon. If you're running with Groudon, then don't pick this up. Again, you don't really want to sync with them anyways, right? So like, you don't really need, unless you just really, if you really like Mega Rayquaza, you think Mega Rayquaza is cool, then you could do this, right? But otherwise, probably best not to sync with him. As for some other stuff, there really isn't much. Again, just some like stat nodes here and there, I guess. If you want another sync node, if you're syncing with him. Again, if you're not syncing with him, then just some more stat nodes, I guess. Right? Yeah. Yeah, he just doesn't have much. If you want Draco Meteor, you can do that as well. Right, just pick up Draco Meteor stuff, pretty straightforward. Here's special attack over here. Here's some special attack here. Here's some speed you can pick up. Speed. Yeah. 3 out of 5 is where you get everything. Still not that much, honestly. There isn't much of a difference between 3 out of 5 and 2 out of 5 grid, right? You pick up the same stuff here. Dragon Ascent power-ups. That's basically it, right? If you're not running Lyra, and you're not running Groudon, you could pick up Fleet Feet, right? This buffs your speed every time you use Dragon Ascent. But if you are, then there's no point picking this up. Or any, you know, support that can max out your speed, right? If you don't have a support that can max out your attack, you pick this up. If you do, then don't, right? I mean, you just need +2 more attack, so it's not really hard to do that. If you're trying to sync with him, there's the Clear Sync Up stuff, which again, I'm not a huge fan of, but I mean, if you want, sure. If you're not running him with Groudon, You could do the clear power up. It's only 10%, but I mean, you have nothing else to pick up on this grid anyways. So, might as well, I guess. No weather, right? But outside of that, if you are running him with Groudon, again, if you're running him with Lyra, don't need to pick these up. But if you're running with Groudon, like maybe like Phoebe, right? Then maybe, you know, Fleet Feet, right? And then the rest, just pick up stat notes. Some speed here, speed here, speed here, right? For Draco Meteor got stuff here as well. You got Crit Strike 2 on Draco Meteor, which is actually pretty good. So there's that. Could probably come over here, pick these up as well. Depends if you're sinking, you can pick this up. If you're not sinking, you just go over here. Cheaper, buy 1 energy, I guess. Right. Here's some special attack. Here's some speed. Here's some special attack. If no Groudon, you could pick up this as well, I guess. Right. But yeah, that's basically his grid. Not very complicated. He doesn't have much, right? Again, most of his power is on his, like, you know, this thing, right? So if you're trying to pull for him, you don't need more than 1 copy, honestly. All right, his copies don't really give him much. Moving on to team comps, you can do this, right? My personal favorite is just Lyra over here instead, because Lyra is more reliable than Rosanta, right? Lyra, you could reliably, well, I guess at a, what, 40% chance each hit to, you know, to max out Steven's speed, max out Steven's special attack, so you don't have to, like, waste turns, because you don't want to waste turns, you know, using Draco Meteor, right? So with Lyra, Sunny Side Up, that's +2 attack, special attack, and speed every time you use it. Use it 3 times, you have, what, 18 stats up, right? Again, the max is 45 stats for the for this multiplier, right? So obviously you want more stats, as much stats as possible. So straight up, Lyra's giving you 18 stats. You got 3 crit yourself, right? So that's what, 21 stats already, and then every time you use Dragon Ascent, you buff your defenses. That's up to another 12 stats. So that's 33 stats, right? 33 stats that you could max cap out on this team, right? Groudon obviously gives you the master passive, right? Both of you guys have master passives. So Hoenn Pride buffs it by, since it's another unit, Hoenn Pride buffs your physical attack by 35%, and then Hoenn Flag Bearer over here by Steven buffs it by another 20%. So you're getting a 55% buff to your physical attack, right? To your Dragon Ascent. So that's very, very good. Obviously, if you want to run Draco Meteor, then you want Kyogre here instead, right? For special attack. If you don't have Groudon, I guess you could just go like full Hoenn, maybe. Full Hoenn would just be, I don't know, some other Hoenn unit. I don't think any Hoenn unit really buffs anything meaningful, right? If I remember correctly, for Steven over here. Obviously in this case you don't really want Lyra, because without Sun the buffs just aren't as good. Right, so like maybe Rosanta would just be better here. Rosanta Delibird, and I don't know, just a Hoenn unit. Phoebe, maybe. Roxanne, maybe Roxanne. Alright, gives you speed, special attack, right? Not that you need special attack to, you know, it's just for a multiplier, right? Stuff like that. If you don't have Rosanta, the other, actually, low-key, Togekiss would be pretty nice as well. Togekiss does trigger your flying type skill, so it gives you a bit more attack, right, which is nice. And then since you don't sync with Rayquaza, you could sync with Togekiss. Togekiss has, you know, really good sync nuke in comparison. But yeah, you just need to make sure you can max out crit on Togekiss, right? Is just the slight issue over here. But yeah, you could sync with the Togekiss, do DPS with Rayquaza, and then you get extra buffs. Also, Togekiss, if you have it, Team Lucky actually gives you some like random stats as well. Hopefully, you get some accuracy evasion for Rayquaza over here, right? Which could help. And then also Togekiss. Again, you have Gifts of Joy over here. Random, you know, stat raises for your team as well. So these holiday units are pretty good. There's other holiday units that you can maybe use, right? That has those random stats that they give. I guess another one will be Ribombee. Ribombee gives evasion over here, right? What else? Something that gives accuracy. Sabrina gives accuracy. Singsu Lisa gives accuracy. Plus you could do Head Start with, you know, Singsu Lisa, get a turn off of your Sync Move Countdown. And Misty. Misty gives evasion, right? So there's a lot of other things you could try to pick up and throw on there, right? So anyways, that's really this one. I guess hope you all enjoyed it, guys. Think in the comments down below. Like and share this video, search for some more Pokemon Masters content. Good luck if you guys still pulling, and I'll see you guys in the next one.